We are counting down the 10 most extreme, dangerous, and fastest tree cutting machines ever unleashed. From precise handheld monsters to towering mechanized giants that can wipe out a hillside in minutes, each entry pushes the limits of speed, power, and human nerve. Some are raw muscle, others pure automation, all united by the risks they bring. Which machine dominates them all? Let us begin with number 10. A massive log rests on steel rails, waiting for its transformation. Chainsaw mills and slabbing rigs are the silent giants of custom woodworking. These machines are built to turn whole trunks into live-edge slabs up to 4 feet wide. The saw, often a heavyweight model with an extra long bar, glides along a rigid frame, biting through the log's length in a single, continuous pass. Every inch of that bar is exposed, just centimeters from the operator's hands. It is a slow-motion contest between precision and raw risk. As the chain chews through dense wood, the slightest shift in grain or hidden knot can pinch the bar, locking it instantly and sending a shock through the frame. There is no armored cab, no distance, just the operator, the roaring chain, and the constant threat of binding or kickback. With every pass, the payoff is a flawless slab, but the margin for error is razor thin. That is why chainsaw mills earn the number 10 spot, not for brute force, but for the nerve it takes to stand inches from danger, start to finish. Raw muscle meets machine at number 9. The Stihl MS-881 and Husqvarna 3120 XP are the biggest handheld chainsaws money can buy. Each is built around a 121.6 cubic centimeters engine, producing nearly 9 horsepower and up to 8 newton meters of torque. With a 60-inch bar, the total weight climbs to almost 40 pounds. That is more than most people can safely lift, let alone control with a spinning chain racing inches from their body. Anti-vibration systems and IntelliCarb carburetors try to tame the beast, but nothing saves you from fatigue when you are wrestling this much power. Kickback on a bar this size can send the saw flying in a split second. These monsters are pure brute force. No cab, no armor, just you and the chain. That is why they are the limit of what one person can handle before machines take over. Hydraulic saw and shear attachments turn 30-ton excavators into tree-cutting giants. With a reach of 25 to 35 feet, these machines can grab and slice trees on steep slopes and in deep ditches, places where a person with a chainsaw would never go. The operator stays safe inside a steel cab, but the danger shifts to physics. When a log weighing 1,100 pounds is cut free at full boom extension, it swings like a wrecking ball. That pendulum force can crush equipment or tip the whole machine if the ground is soft or uneven. Even with massive tracks spreading the weight, a sudden shift or a rolling log can push the limits of stability. These attachments brought heavy equipment into the fight, but every cut is a test of balance, reach, and respect for gravity. A crane swings high above narrow driveways and tangled power lines, holding a steel grapple saw poised over a neighborhood tree. The operator watches load cells and utility clearance monitors, and lines up the clamp with the trunk, sometimes with less than a hand's width to spare. Hydraulic jaws close, locking onto the wood. The integrated chainsaw fires, slicing through a 400-kilogram section of trunk in seconds. Instead of crashing to the ground, the cut piece stays gripped, then lowers slowly between houses and wires, guided with centimeter precision. This workflow, clamp, cut, lower, repeat, turns what could be a catastrophe into a controlled ballet. But even with safeguards, the risk never disappears. In Calgary, a single dropped log punched through a roof and triggered a lawsuit. Wet wood brushing live power lines can mean instant electrocution. In cities, the danger isn't just the saw, it's everything above, below, and around the cut. When space is tight, every move counts. A raw log rolls onto the in-feed conveyor, and the machine comes alive. Firewood processors are relentless. Each cycle starts with the conveyor feeding a log toward a spinning crosscut saw. In 4 to 8 seconds, the saw slices off a round, a hydraulic ram slams it through a steel wedge, and split firewood drops onto the pile. One operator can turn out thousands of pieces in a single shift, far outpacing any manual crew. But the speed comes with a price. Jams are unforgiving. If a log binds or a knot stalls the splitter, instinct says to reach in and clear it. That is where danger lives. Loose sleeves or a moment's distraction can draw a hand into moving parts before there is time to react. Hydraulic failures add another layer of risk. When a seal blows or a valve sticks, the ram can jerk unexpectedly, pinning or crushing anything in its path. Firewood processors may look like yard equipment, but their pace and power demand total respect. At the landing, the tempo jumps. Loader grapples snatch logs from tangled piles, swinging them into position for processing heads mounted on excavators. Each head grabs a log, measures it to the mill's spec, slices it clean, and stacks it, all in a blur of hydraulics and moving steel. A single log can weigh over 1,000 kilograms, and with dozens cycling through every minute, the ground is alive with shifting timber. One unstable stack, one careless bump, and a log can roll free, crushing anything in its path. Communication on the landing is constant, radio calls, hand signals, eyes everywhere, because a missed cue or a moment's distraction can mean disaster. The choreography keeps the chaos in check, but the threat never leaves. Here, speed and danger move together, and every operator knows what's at stake. A Fellerbuncher rolls into the stand, its cutting head armed with a steel disc the size of a car tire. That disc spins at up to 3,000 revolutions per minute, with the outer edge screaming past 400 miles per hour. When the jaws clamp a trunk, the disc slams through solid wood in a heartbeat powered by pure kinetic energy. But every tooth on that disc is a loaded weapon. If one breaks or shears off, it launches like a bullet, capable of punching straight through steel. That is why the operator sits behind thick, reinforced glass and armored steel panels. These cabs are not just for comfort, they are built to stop high-speed shrapnel and flying debris. Disc saw Fellerbunchers cut faster than any chainsaw, but the risk is not just from the wood. It is from the machine itself, where a single failed tooth can turn a routine cut into a life-or-death moment. A harvester grips a standing tree, clamps tight, and in seconds the trunk is cut, lifted, and fed into a steel head bristling with sensors. Hydraulic rollers pull the log through as sharp knives strip off branches. Laser optics scan the diameter in real time, feeding data to an onboard computer. The machine's brain calculates the best places to slice, matching every cut to the mill's order. 2 meters here, 4 meters there. One operator, sealed in a cab, controls the whole process. At peak speed, a skilled driver can process 20 to 40 trees every hour, each log measured and bucked to specification. But when technology falters, the cost is immediate. Between 2018 and 2022, a wave of sensor failures in some harvesters led to missized logs, loads rejected at the mill, profits lost, and production stalled. Automation brings speed and precision, but every log depends on sensors and code working perfectly, every time. A whole tree chipper stands ready, its steel feed rollers wider than a man is tall. These machines are built for one thing, devouring entire trees, branches and all, at rates up to 30 tons an hour. The process is simple, but relentless. Massive rollers clamp onto the wood and drag it unyielding toward a spinning drum or disc lined with blades. The force is overwhelming. If a glove, sleeve, or limb touches those rollers, there is no pulling back. The grip is measured in tons, and once caught, escape is almost impossible before the blades hit. In 2016, a chipper in Tifton, Georgia claimed an operator's arm in seconds. That incident forced a reckoning. OSHA responded by mandating emergency stop bars on new chippers, bright red, always within reach, designed to halt the feed instantly. But even with these safeguards, the margin for error is razor thin. One misstep, one distraction, and the machine's appetite does not care what is in its path. That is why, for sheer lethality in a single machine, nothing tops the whole tree chipper, except the combined chaos of a full logging system. A harvester carves a path through standing timber, each tree gripped, cut, stripped, and measured in seconds. Right behind, a forwarder rolls in, its bunk filling with fresh-cut logs, 15 to 20 tons at a time, before rumbling off toward the landing. There, processors and loaders take over, slicing, stacking, and sorting with relentless speed. All day, this team moves like a factory on wheels, handling up to 800 tons of wood in a single shift. With just 4 to 6 operators, the crew matches what once took entire camps of workers. But every machine depends on the next. One missed radio call, one wrong move, and the chain of control snaps. On steep ground, a forwarder overloaded on wet soil can skid sideways, sending logs rolling toward equipment and crew. This is danger that multiplies in an instant. In 2017, telemetry from a harvester and a forwarder helped reconstruct the timeline of a rain-soaked landslide that swept equipment down an Olympic Peninsula hillside. That data became evidence in a lawsuit over clear-cutting on unstable slopes. When the system runs smoothly, productivity is unmatched. But when coordination fails, the danger multiplies. Hundreds of tons in motion, machines inches apart, and a hillside ready to move. This is the #1 extreme machine, not a single saw, but a synchronized force, powerful enough to reshape a forest or trigger disaster in a heartbeat. Across all these machines, one pattern stands out. As speed increases, so does the margin for disaster. The same engineering that conquers forests demands constant respect. In forestry, progress isn't just about efficiency, it's about mastering danger before it masters you. Which machine shocked you most?